National has a wonderful model of actually withholding space within its schedule in order to allow for customers to come to us with time-critical, last-minute, ad hoc business requirements. And that really comes down to us maximizing on the logistics freight forwarding mindset is we should always be available. You shouldn't need to schedule a last-minute shipment 2 weeks out. We want to be available within 3 days, 2 days, even 24 hours. So I think that through the time during COVID and allowing me to have that exposure of how crazy it was to balance all of our customers and maintain our relationships, I also then saw how we were able to operate to 350 airports last year alone, which is unbelievable for an airline of our size. And we're going to continue to grow and maximize on those capabilities that we've established for ourselves and the infrastructure that we've built.
We are here in Munich at the Air Cargo Europe and Transport Logistics Exhibition and Conferences. And with me in conversation is Caterina Alf, Director of Global Business Development at National Airlines. Caterina, great to have you for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about briefly about your transition to the role of Global Business Development at Nationals from your previous role as Development Analyst at JP Morgan Chase.
Yeah, so my time at JP Morgan Chase, I was in a leadership development program, which gave me the opportunity to enhance my management, organizational, and analytical skills. With that, I was able to quickly transition into my role as Director of Global Business Development at National Airlines. I primarily focus on selling our full plane load capacity. And actually, while I was spending my time at JP Morgan, I did have the experience of receiving my first client through a connection of a family friend. So with that, allowed me to really kickstart my first book of business and then continue on to work with many of our global clients.
You've been going to be about 2 years in Nationals, and how do you find yourself in this industry, which is not fully or not at all insulated from the ups and downs that you find in the global economy?
These 2 years have been quite crazy, to say the least. So when I entered into the company, we were in the peak of COVID, which was absolutely amazing for the company and really allowed us to springboard into who we are today. Gave us access to a whole nother book of business in terms of customers, allowed us to build deeper relationships. And the company really does view the ups and downs within the world as opportunities. So with that being said, when one market goes down, there's always some cargo somewhere else and another market is excelling. So it's our duty as a logistics service provider to all of our customers to be able to remain agile, remain focused, and remain committed to all of our partners in order to find business as well as to operate smoothly and to the highest standards.
And you're enjoying the industry, John?
Yeah, I love it.
If I were to ask you, who is your mentor, who would that be?
I would say my parents. So my father is the chairman of National Air Cargo Group, which is both the freight forwarder logistics service provider for less than a plane load capacity, as well as National Airlines, which is our full plane load capacity on our B747-400 freighter aircraft. And the third pillar to the business is our passenger services. So we operate an A330 and a B757. So with that, he's really showed me how to pave the way and have a never say no mindset and attitude, as well as my mother, Reji Alf, who is a member of the board of directors. She was VP sales and commercial services at the start of her career with the company, and still to this day remains involved with the overall management of the holding company itself. And then Jacob Matthew as well. He is our third member of the board, and he has guided me to never think anything is impossible. So there is always a way to find a solution to make the situation better and to accomplish any goal that we could have ever wanted to achieve.
I think the world went through a most toughest crisis in the history, and but as far as the air freight industry or a freight industry is concerned, this was the best time for anyone to enter and learn. Do you think that happened to you? Because you joined National at the peak of COVID.
As I had mentioned at the start, when I received my first experience within the industry itself was actually through my first customer. So the reason why they came to us was they couldn't find capacity anywhere else. And National has a wonderful model of actually withholding space within its schedule in order to allow for customers to come to us with time-critical, last-minute, ad hoc business requirements. And that really comes down to us maximizing on the logistics freight forwarding mindset is we should always be available. You shouldn't need to schedule a last-minute shipment 2 weeks out. We want to be available within 3 days, 2 days, even 24 hours. So I think that through the time during COVID and allowing me to have that exposure of how crazy it was to balance all of our customers and maintain our relationships, I also then saw how we were able to operate to 350 airports last year alone, which is unbelievable for an airline of our size. And we're going to continue to grow and maximize on those capabilities that we've established for ourselves and the infrastructure that we've built.
What's your larger vision for National Airlines?
Our vision for the company really is to take it to the next level in terms of digitalization and how do we encompass our services and make it a bit easier for our customers to reach us. So currently many things are done manually, and we appreciate our customer-to-customer relationships and allowing us to have the meetings and such, but then how do we take the data that we have and then be able to offer logistics solutions at a time, just like any other ordering online merchandise or whatever it may be. So we're really trying to take all of the different models that exist within our environment and our industry and see how we can take bits and pieces, the best parts of them, in order to make ourselves forward stepped into the solutions.
Caterina, data is becoming the core and the foundation of everything that we do. And a lot of people think that even with 10 freighters or 20 freighters, you still can do business with an Excel sheet. But I'm sure that a person like you is someone who wouldn't want to do that. You really want to accelerate the digital transformation of your operations. What is your vision for the digital transformation of National Airlines?
Well, the company has already its own home-built system that we've been leveraging for the last 15 years, and we are currently in the process of moving that over from thick client-based server-based to be a thin client cloud-based system. So we're expecting that to be completed within the year. And once we have that infrastructure built with the new IT framework and built on an extremely cyber secure and agile, following the agile methodology, we'll be able to then enhance our throughout as we're looking forward and see what our customers require from us, as well as down the line offer customer-facing portals. So something that we currently have is we give our customers the ability to go on our website and track based off of their AWR build number. They can do this for both our less than a plane load as well as full plane load shipments. With that being said, we see it going another step further. So how can our customers log on and it says, hi, John, welcome to, here's your upcoming flight. We've already got the permits secured. We have the slots handled. Here's your ground handling contact information. Here's your address. So how do we offer that full service solution for our customers? And as I said, currently we do that. It's just via email. So how do we give that into a portal feel and allow our customers that quick and easy access to our information?
National acquired a number of assets in the last 3 to 4 years. You really built up the capacity, and at a time when actually the world needed that capacity.
Yeah.
Now you're reaching a point where this seems to be overcapacity. What is a reading of the global air freight industry?
So what National did that was quite amazing was we actually had acquired the 747s before the COVID boom. So they were prepared and ready to go. We had to do some maintenance, of course, to get them kick-started and back into full service, but those aircrafts were already purchased. So that was an amazing business decision that was made by the company. As we're looking forward, we do see a lot of changes within the environment as a result of COVID. So with that being said, we've seen many of our direct customers actually see opportunity and forwarders see opportunity into doing project-based cargo. So what that means is basically we'll have a customer and our forwarders will say we want to operate 2 times per week. These are our lanes and it's consistent business for us. So that's not necessarily saying that National will be a full long-term service provider ACMI aircraft. That's not our business plan. But what our business plan is to stay focused on those projects and how can we support production lines, how can we support oil rig spills, breakages, and really just act on a dime and whatever need be. So a couple examples, if we've enhanced and capitalized on some projects that allow us, the opportunity to do 10 to 15 flights per se, and then we do that within a span of 2 weeks. And then that's our project. And then we go on to the next project. So we firmly believe as a company that with the ever-changing environment in this world, there will always be something to do. And we'll find it, and we will continue to push towards providing the solutions in whatever it may be.
I've been following National since there's been 10 years that I've been writing about the transportation and logistics. I've seen the growth of the company very closely. And one thing that amazes me is the agility to turn on and turn off the capacity, make the capacity available. Like when you have a natural disasters, you see the National coming on board to carry the cargo from anywhere in the world to the affected areas. When you have to really look at the diversification of the business, what are some of the new areas that you really want to explore?
We'd like to be a bit more consistent coming out of Hong Kong and into Europe. So that's something that people don't even necessarily realize that National is capable of doing. So a few lanes, for example, is, as I suggested, Hong Kong into Europe, as well as going intra-Asia. So what we're capable capable of doing is going from Singapore to Incheon, for example, or even going Europe into Japan and then down to the Far East. So really capitalizing on our seventh freedom rights and our ability to travel to so many countries without even ever touching the United States itself. Some other lanes as we've been exploring as well as intra-Middle East, as well as going United States into both Saudi Arabia and Dubai. So the company is really looking to station aircrafts in each part of the world, which then therefore allows us to quickly act if on a dime, if net needed. Because for say we're in Europe and we're there, maybe we have a little bit of a gap in the schedule for a day and someone needs an AOG part down in Africa, we can go right away, activate our crew, and then we go run the quick mission and then go back to Europe. So it's really quite amazing that we're able to have the presence as we do right now. And then it gives us the ability to also maintain our service standards.
Do you have a roadmap in terms of your fleet modernization, fleet expansion? You see the new production freighters coming up with a dependence on the 4-engine 747. It still has a lot more years of life, but do you look at other production freighters, other conversion models? Is that something that you very closely watch?
So of course, we're watching it very closely to see what's going on in the market, but we truly believe that the 747-400 aircraft is the best aircraft for the type of business that we participate in. So we're not in the business to offer scheduled service. We're in the business to offer critical logistics solutions and complicated solutions. So we have an entire team of load masters and engineers that will sit with our customers for hours to figure out how can we load certain pieces onto our aircraft. Is there a way for them to work with their customers in order to shave down a corner so that way it meets the contour of the aircraft? So how can we find the best solution? And because the 747 is the largest Western aircraft, aside of course from IL-76s, AN-124s, this aircraft is the best served for our business right at this moment. What we would like to do eventually is potentially expand deeper into the factory freighter and ERF models of the 747, as they do take a bit more payload as well as have the nose loading capabilities. So that is what we keep closely on our radar, and for right now, that's the current projection for the company.
Okay, you also have a few passenger aircraft. Is that something that you also consider that you would have a more aircraft joining your fleet? And between passenger and cargo, which one do you like?
So passenger, we definitely are looking to expand. We currently have the A330 and the B757. We'd like to add an additional A330 mainly because a lot of our customers would like to have a backup aircraft. So that's definitely something that we're looking into, and that's probably the nearest term addition to the fleet that we will be participating in. And in terms of passenger versus cargo, I mean, they're very different. Something that's quite awesome though is that on the A330 you can actually take cargo in the belly, so that's also something that we look at and we do stuff from time to time. But I believe the passenger business is quite cool, especially what we participate in. So we focus mainly on ad hoc as well as offering charters for our sports teams, as well as cruise ship lines, river cruises, whatever it may be. So we really enjoy that kind of business, offering the VIP service, champagne when you get on board the flight. We've also recently expanded our scope to cater to children. We've had coloring books and stuffed animals for the company. So I think that the passenger business now will continue to grow post-COVID, especially now that people are flying. And we've also seen a great need for people want to do experiences. So it's very focused on going to one place, and they have a setup. We're working with travel agencies and offer a customized plan for our customers. So really exciting things happening on both sides of the business, although they are very different.
What is the most exciting thing in air cargo that you have found in the last 2 years?
I'd say the most exciting thing is maintaining our customers as well as finding new business. So me working in sales, we love when we're winning new flights and being able to offer amazing solutions. I definitely say too, when operating smoothly. I mean, I think there's so many aspects to a successful operation in terms of arranging ground handling, ensuring the slots are arranged on time, the permits, our crew, making sure everyone's healthy and having backup crew. So there's so many components to this. So I think really operating a successful flight for each and every one of our customers is truly what I find most exciting, because I just know there's so many things that can go wrong. So having it run perfect is the most exciting.
What is the biggest challenge for you?
I'd say the biggest challenge right now in today's space is manpower, not for National Airlines or National Air Cargo itself, but with our third parties. So we've really seen the struggle with some of the cargo handlers. What had happened was during COVID, they had laid people off or realigned people that had been working to support the passenger aircraft and then aligned them over to cargo. And then once passenger picked up again, now those people go back to passenger, and now there's less people to service us on the cargo side. So I think it makes it a bit frustrating sometimes in terms of offering our on-time performance for our customers if there's nobody to handle our aircraft within the proper time. So that's something that we're constantly focused on, where our team has been extremely dedicated. So taking trips globally to meet specifically with the handlers, the airports, in order to ensure that we have the service that our customers require of us.
You think you could be the champion for National to attract a lot more of young people into the company?
So I think that when people around the world see the growth and they see what National is doing and the fun we have doing it, I mean, I truly think it's an exceptional company to work for and to be a part of the team. And it's a family mindset. We're all there for each other. I mean, even within our sales team, for example, we work together. It's one team. So it's not that, oh, that's your customer. Oh, I'm not going to talk to them. That's not my problem. No, it's the mindset is whoever is available on their phone at that time responds to the customer. And we all share that responsibility together. So I think that's really the best part about it. And the same thing goes for our other teams internally as well. They follow that same mindset. We take care of each other and we take care of our customers.
How often do you get on a freighter plane and travel?
So I have been on the freighter planes a few times, but I've actually never flown on the plane. So I need to take a trip on the aircraft. Been on it one too many times, just overseeing the cargo, onload, offload, meeting the crew and such. But one day, I'll take a trip.
Caterina, thanks for your time. It's a pleasure talking to you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.